Hey, this is a quick one. We're just going to go over some slopes. This is the basic formula y equals mx plus b, and this is called usually the y-intercept, the x-intercept. As we had said, it's called the y-intercept when you write it like this because this actually shows how your slope, where you start your slope at, and it determines where x is in relation to y, pretty much, when x is 0. So let's move on. So here it says, what are the coordinates of the x-intercept of the equation 2x minus 3y equals 8? So in order to solve this, we're going to substitute a value, and here step 1 tells you to place a 0 in. And so obviously when you place a 0 in, this is going to be 3 times 0, or negative 3 times 0, and that's going to be 0. So you're going to have 2x minus 0. It's a bad 0. Sorry about that. 2x minus 0 equals 8. So now when you do this, you get ready to solve. You have 2 over here, and I didn't do the math on this side, but you know when you divide, it's negative 2 over negative 2, and 8 divided by 2 becomes 4, and then these cancel out, so x equals 4. So it says, what are the coordinates? And that's all you need to know right now, or what are the coordinates? And your coordinates are 4 and 0. If you put this in the equation and you went like this, your standard form of ax minus 3y, you'd have to look at what this would be and how your coordinates would change. If you took this over, it would be negative over here. But if you left it alone, actually would be minus 8, and this would be by. But your a term would actually be 2, and your b term would be negative 3. So just think that's how it's done in standard form. So here, if you wanted to find out what is the slope-intercept form of the equation below, we already wrote this equation because here's y equals mxb. That's standard. This is the general equation given to you, as most of you in your textbooks already see. So general equation. Now, where did I get this y equals mx plus 2? This 2 is here. Mx is going to be the direct slope. And this is y-intercept. So if you look at what's going on in this graph, try to get things to make sense for you from a picture. When you look at this graph, ideally, you already see it's at 2. You already know this is your formula here. So when you get ready to look at what's really going on, you see this 2 here, and you see this point is 0, 2, and that means basically that x is 0, which is where this starts from. This is our x line. It's going horizontal, and this is y. It goes vertically, right? So this is already given to you. So this is your y value. It's 2. So go ahead and plug it into the equation. I'm sorry. Go ahead and plug it in for the equation to the equation. Okay, and so now you have your first point. And you know you started at 0 and you have 2. So these are your points. You can start here, and actually you can start anywhere. But when you look at what's going on, a lot of people want to say, well, let me go up and over. Well, if you go over 1 and you go up, you're going to try to get the wrong part of the myth. Why don't you try to do the second point? Because what's happening is some of your points as it goes up are negative, and some are positive. So you want the real value of the slope. And when you get ready to think about this, your x values given to you were 0 and positive 2. Okay? So now from this position, you can also look at another number like this. This would be 4 and 0. So you can try that. You try to see if you do your points. This is y1, and this is y2, and this is x1, and this is x2. So remember, y2, the second value of y over the first value of y is the same as saying second value of x2 minus x1. So guess what? When you put in your y2 value, you get 0 minus 2 over 4 for your x value, your x second value minus 0. You are going to get a negative 2, because 0 minus 2 is going to be negative, over 4 minus 0 is going to be 4. But when you get ready to subtract, or when you get ready to reduce this, not subtract, you're going to get negative 1/2. So that's one way to do it. And so you take this half and you put this y equals negative. Make sure that negative is there. 1/2. That's your slope and mean slope plus 2. That's your equation. And stop playing around with this. The other thing that you can do, while I'm making a mess, I'm going to finish talking here. We're going to go over here. The other thing that you can also do is you can do what a lot of your teachers want you to, which is to go up. You can go here and go down 1 and 1, 2, and that's your next point. And if you started here and you went down 1 and over 2, you really went -1 down, but positive 2. It's still 1/2. So either way, your slope is still 1/2, and it still goes into this equation. Okay, so for the next situation, this is when these questions start getting hard. If the graph has the equation of ax plus by equals -4, what must be true about a and b? The y-intercept is when x equals 0. So over here, you plot your points, and you can go ahead and put your value here, a times 0 plus b is -5. Y's value is, so you have -5b. So this is 0 plus -5 equals -4. When you take this over, this is +5 equals, you do the same thing on both sides, 5. Your a value has to be, the next a value has to be positive, and your b value has to be negative. So that's the question they're asking you. A is then greater than 0, and b is less than 0. That's what they're asking you. So you just have to sit and kind of think through what's going on. Hello. So we finished that. Those were really two quick questions done. And this is just a review for you guys. Have a good day.